it's a blessing. All the hard work we put in, in the off season and the summer, and I'm not big on age. I'm big on coming in, competing, playing my role, and playing ball. So it's been a fun ride.
This time last year, you were in the high school playoffs. You were quarterbacking your high school team. Now you're SEC champion. Do you kind of look at the whole thing and go, "Wow, everything happened so fast"?
Well, last year around this time, I wasn't in the high school playoffs. I actually lost in the first round, but played Manville. Had like 26 D1 athletes, went D1, but it's a great experience. I mean, I can say this is my first championship since the East Houston Aggies as a 8-year-old. So it's a good feeling.
How much have you evolved this year? I mean, learning the new offense and kind of progressing. How much you personally evolved?
It's a process, and here you just have to trust the process and keep progressing as a player.
How has Lane Kiffin helped you as a quarterback role in this first year?
He's been very, very helpful. I mean, very helpful. Progressing me as a player, person, and just, allowing me to be the best I can be.
How do you develop that knack for overcoming, like your first snap you had the fumble? How do you, the composure you had, where did you learn that from?
Well, I mean, it's a mindset. I grew up as a coach's kid, so I was around the game often. So it's kind of natural for me to be, stoic and calm because that's who I am.
Were you around, I mean, his teams and everything as a kid? I mean, did you kind of just grow up football gym around?
I did. And I say that's the reason why I'm here doing what I'm doing now, because of how I grew up and what I came around, and my dad, being the person he was when he coached me.
It seems like you got a lot of
favorite moment of the season. I say now, but we're not done.
Seems like you got a lot of chemistry with our Darius Stewart. What is it about him that you trust so much?
It's not a trust deal. I trust all my receivers. I trust all of my teammates. It's a deal where it just so happens, okay, call his number and he answers.
I'm sorry, what went through your mind when initially you didn't win the job, and then when you got in there, fumble and?
Well, I say the job was never, solidified. Blake was going first, and I ended up going in second. But like I said, here's the process. Just got to trust it.
How would you evaluate your year today?
As a team, I think we've done a great job. I mean, perfect season this far. Can't ask for more.
Jalen, what is it about you where you're able just to shake off your mistakes and just get focused? What is that?
I think it's a mindset. It takes a special person to come here and play well. And here we are. We got a lot of players doing that now, so that's a good sign.
Jalen, how can you improve as a player?
Improving as a player, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, I can't just give you specifics because I ain't perfect. You're gonna have fumbles, you're gonna have interceptions, incompletions, missed balls, missed tackles. It just happens.
Nick has talked about meeting with him weekly and kind of going over film. What are some of those experiences like?
It's a pretty good experience to go and talk to him on Sundays. And I recall a few times where he ain't talked to me this Sunday. I was like, "No, Coach, I come every Sunday." But I guess he's getting a little old. He can't remember.
When did he tell you were going to start against USC?
I don't think I started against USC.
I mean, you're going to play.
Well, I was informed that I was going to play and get in probably about three to four drives, and we'll go out there and compete.
What day of the week was that?
Long time ago.
What's life like for you off the field? You're the starting quarterback, #1 team. You're also a freshman in college. People kind of been noticing you around campus and stuff.
They do, but I mean, I think they have done a great job of not taking it out of proportion. They've handled it well.
It looks like the transition to college football has been pretty easy. Is high school football and college football, are they similar, or is it just football? How do you?
I won't say that, but I mean, I think it's a deal where you are mature and developed. Alabama is developing me. They're getting me. It's the process.
How do you guys not become some sort of complacent when you go this far?
can't be complacent in this league. Obviously, I mean, we're champions now, but like I said, we're not done. Can't never be complacent. Gotta keep pushing.
How do you not?
It's a mindset. It's a mindset.
What just led to some of the struggles in the red zone?
Struggles in the red zone. Lack of execution. I mean, when you don't capitalize on the play, it usually comes down to lack of execution.
Is that on you or on somebody else?
It's all a team effort. All a team effort. As a competitor and a player, you want to say that, okay, I could have done this better, I could have done that better, but it's all a team effort at the end of the day.
Jalen, has it been a good thing? I mean, this is such a high-profile position. It could be a lot of pressure if you won't let it. But that you've kind of been shielded. You haven't had to do this. That you've been able to just focus on football, school. The more important things than publicity.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna use the process again. It's all the process, and Coach Saban has always, it's always been a rule that freshmen couldn't speak, and all year I've lived up to that rule. I respected it, and here we are now. First time speaking to the media.
Do you like it? You like that role?
I don't mind it. I mean, it's the process.
You said the fans
You
did.
can't disrespect the process.
You said the fans did a good job of not blowing this out of proportion. Do you think this kind of crowd here is out of proportion?
I mean, it's a part of it. When you play for Alabama and you're doing positive things. You're successful at what you do. It happens. So.
Talk about some of those good meetings, but what are Nick's also kind of chewed you out in the middle of games and stuff like that? What are some of those treatments like on the sideline?
Well, as a player, as a coach's son, I say my dad was my coach, so I don't think it could get any worse than that.
If there's one thing you've learned from your dad that you've taken with you here, what is it? A saying, anything like that?
Well, playing for my dad, it was kind of tough. I mean, I had an older brother, and he got to go through it with my brother before I came up. I watched my brother play, progress, and do the things he did. But I learned a lot from him coaching my brother. All the butt chewings he got, I learned from those. And okay, I'm not gonna do what he did. But life is all about learning and not doing it again. Don't want to repeat your mistakes.
Your brother said
butt chewings, your dad or Saban?
Better butt chewings.
I mean, are they both? Is he pretty tough?
Ain't nothing like getting a butt chewing from your blood. So I say my dad.
Were you guys concerned at all when they drove right down for that first touchdown?
That's how games go sometimes. I mean, it happens. Our defense is good, but nobody's perfect. It happens.
How much did their scores, the special team and the defensive touchdown, kind of spark the offense going into the second quarter?
Pardon me?
How much did the defensive score, the non-offensive touchdowns, spark the offense? I mean, you had negative 7 yards total offense in the first quarter.
Here at Alabama, we're not, they teach us not to look at the scoreboard and worry about the outside effects that, may be in place, but we just play our game. No scoreboard. We got 60 minutes to play as hard as we can, and that's what we did.
Jalen, people talk about how smooth you are. You don't get upset over a bad play. You just go on to the next play. Is that something you learned from your dad, or is that something you've kind of just had in you all your life?
Well, I think it's something that I inherited, just kind of growing up and being a coach's kid, because I'd say my brother was a little emotional playing the position. He'd show emotion sometimes, and I learned from that. And I think that's why I'm the way I am right now.
Who's the quarterbacks you like to watch?
Quarterbacks? My brother, Avery Hurts. It's just a relationship we have.
What was it like going to see him play this year? You actually got to watch him play a game.
Yeah, I went to that one game in Montgomery, and it was good seeing him come back and win. So I was really proud of him.
How often do you guys talk in the season, and what do you guys talk about?
We talk probably every day, and just talking about life and little ball. But when I'm talking to my family, I try to keep ball out of it as much as possible.
So no trading scored today. Is that what you like to see? A lot of guys getting involved in that?
I love it.
Sorry to take you back. What do you remember about that Ole Miss game after you took that big hit and got down? What do you remember about that?
Next play, how do I respond?
Does that you responded well after some of those fumble returns for touchdowns or whatever? Does that spark something in you? Do you know when that happens, you need to turn it up a little bit?
As a player, I just try not to let stuff get to me. You know, that just comes with the stoic demeanor I have, and I just next play.
Has there been a moment this year where you kind of maybe had a bad player, had a moment where it all hit you?
Well, bad plays occur all the time. You know, a bad play to me may not be a bad play to y'all, but it always occurs, and just got to handle it. Take it as it comes.
When you score a touchdown, you kind of brush off your jersey. What are you telling folks when you do that?
It's just a little swag I like to add to it. Sometimes you gotta play with some swagger, a little juice.
I think Ryan said you took that from him. Is that true?
I ain't gonna comment on that.
Hey, that quality of you brushing off the past play, forgetting the last play, has that been tested more? Do you think this season, just what you've gone through this season?
Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, the whole entire quality of forgetting the last play and moving forward, not focusing on the past. Has that been tested more this season, or is it just same old business?
I've been like that, you know, just playing all my life. I've been playing, and I've always been calm, try to be calm, you know, but it's just something that's just been in me, I guess.
Have you always been a leader? You say you don't pay attention to age. But here you are, a freshman, leading some guys who are juniors, seniors.
I'm a firm believer in age being nothing but a number, and I feel if you step into any situation and you're able to play your game, be confident, have the poise you need to have, I think you'll be all right.
How much has Coach Kiffin told you about taking the reins off as far as your running? Play breaks down, you use your legs. I mean, is that just all inherent to you, or does he say, look, that's what I want you to do, especially in the third and fourth quarter? You seem to take over the game, you know, with your legs. Is that something you talk a lot about, or you're just curious?
I think it's something that just happens naturally. I mean, when you have a dual threat guy, and you know, you see guys like Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, I'm pretty sure that coach is not telling them, okay, drop back three, take a three-step drop, shuffle up, run right, make something happen. It's just a natural thing.
You feel you can outrun just about anybody around the corner?
I'm not the fastest. I do what I can do.
Can you outrun your brother?
I can't outrun him.
Did you visualize this when you got there last January? Less than a year ago for you to visualize yourself.
Well, as a competitor and as a player, me being who I am, I always know that the sky's the limit, and you know, I'm truly blessed to be in the situation I'm in right now. But as a whole, this team, I mean, all the success I'm having and everything I'm going through, none of this is possible without them. And
the score indicates that this may have been one of your best games all season. Do you feel that way, that you guys really put it all together tonight?
Tonight it was a great team win. You know, Bo Scarborough, I believe, had like 2 touchdowns. Dieter hadn't really been getting the ball early on. He had a touchdown.
All right, thank you, Jalen.
It was good.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks very much.
Nice
to meet you.
Was it as bad as you thought? Was it as bad as you thought?